Whether it's the dueling playoff hat tricks in 2009, whether it's the 2011 Winter Classic, Crosby versus Ovi, where Crosby gets cheap shotted by David Steckel and the trajectory of his entire career changes, or mid-2010s Ovechkin, who is labeled a cocky, lazy superstar that you can't win with. And then, through the mid-2010s, Crosby's Penguins absolutely dummying Ovechkin's Capitals, making it so that Crosby had 3 cups and Ovi had 0, and everybody's thinking, wow, this is barely a rivalry anymore. Crosby and the Penguins own Ovechkin and the Caps. Until 2018, you could see the relief and all that weight literally melt off of Ovechkin as his Caps beat the Penguins in that second round series on his way to becoming a winner and having his Stanley Cup. And since Ovi got that cup in 2018, the rivalry has died down a little bit. Like, yes, there's been a couple of flare-up moments, but since then, it's really just kind of felt like they've been teaming up and working together instead of, Crosby versus Ovechkin. It's been a lot of Crosby and Ovechkin, and that's a great thing for the league. But it just got me thinking, like, these two guys are a huge, huge part of my childhood, and they're synonymous with the league. I grew up hearing their names literally everywhere. I remember going to church and hearing people talk about Crosby and Ovechkin. They were everywhere, and I'm not ready to let go of that yet. And I know we've still got a couple of years left, but this is greatness, man. This is something that we have to embrace it as much as we can, because Crosby and Ovechkin, that's great, but the reality of the situation is there's probably another playoff series, if not multiple playoff series, coming up between these two teams again, and I'm looking forward to see some good old-fashioned classic Crosby versus Ovechkin again. That's going to be awesome to see. Because trust me, the NHL has tried since Crosby and Ovechkin. They know how much of a cash cow that was. They tried to go McDavid versus Eichel or McDavid versus Matthews. Like, they tried this stuff, and there's been no other rivalry that has been able to come even close to this Crosby versus Ovechkin one. This is an all-timer. I mean, even Gretzky versus Lemieux wasn't like this. This is maybe the best that we've seen. This is like Magic Johnson versus Larry Bird type stuff with Crosby and Ovechkin. We may never see it again. And I don't want to go to the end of this and be like, man, it's really too late to appreciate how great this was. I wish I would have been in the moment like, man, this rivalry's awesome. I'm going to soak it all in. That's what I want to do before it's too late. Because again, I don't think we're going to see anything like this in my lifetime, at least. Like, even, let's say Connor Bedard gets drafted to the Ducks or something. You're going to tell me Ducks versus Oilers, Bedard versus McDavid is going to be on the same level as Crosby versus Ovechkin? No, it's not going to be. Like, just the contrast of Crosby being Canada's golden boy and Ovechkin being the cocky Russian who was doing all the commercials and and Crosby was just staying out of the limelight as much as he could. That contrast was just beautiful for this rivalry, and I cannot wait to see another edition of it. I want to see Washington versus Pittsburgh maybe more than anything in this upcoming playoffs. I cannot wait for this. It's going to be incredible. Embrace this while you still can before it's too late. Trust me, if you're like me where these two guys are a gigantic part of your childhood, or maybe they helped you fall in love with the game in the first place, embrace this. Take it all in, because we might have a couple more years, but it's not going to be a lot longer.